What was the last play supposed to work? How was that supposed to work?
We were just trying to get the ball to Wash. Wash was send it down screen for Ari, RJ, just to kind of see him like a decoy. They were trying to look for him the ball and just have Wash seal the little guard underneath the basket. It was just for me to try to get it to him so he could get a quick layup.
So it's always going to be a long pass.
Yeah, it was going to be a long pass.
But except for that, I mean, this is your best game of the season. What was working for you today?
Just knowing I can continue to get better in certain areas, what I'm capable of doing, and just showing that, just having the confidence and just the belief in myself to know what I can do and just continue to move forward.
How hard was it to match up with Renault inside? I mean, the challenges he created.
He's a 7'2", 3-level scorer. That's kind of hard to contain and defend. So I just something that we just continue to learn and try to build off of. But definitely, he's a great player. Just be able to shoot the ball the way that he did, just be able to attack and be able to handle the ball. That length is pretty much it's just hard to guard. So he's a good player.
When you have a big man that takes up so much attention like Maxine, how difficult is it to get those weak side helps, weak side blocks, and some guards get into the lane when you have to focus so much attention on your man?
Yeah, that is something that we just try to emphasize. When those plays happen, just trying to get the rotation right. Just be able to help one another and just to trust that the next man is going to be our help. So it's just whatever we can do is just do it at a pace that we can do. Just to disturb them in any way we can and just try to find ways to do it.
Take me through that last defensive sequence where you had Jalen Blake hit the mid-range jumper. I guess kind of what did you see as the play was going on?
It was moving fast. I just saw him, going down the floor. I kind of figured that he was going to take the last shot, so we was trying to, contain him. We put our best defender on him, Seth, and he did a pretty great job, to be able to contain him, keep him off, from going straight to the rim. Just a good contest from him. He just hit the shot, so there's nothing we can do there.
What about the offensive end with Renault? I mean, when the pick and rolls, he came in with help a lot and then made those tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said. It was tough, to be able to defend him, just to be able to contain the ball while also being mindful of, the spacing where he's located at on the floor. So it's just something that we continue to recognize quickly and just trying to do it at a great pace.
And yet he only scored one field goal in the last 15 minutes of the game, and you guys still lost. If you come in, it's like when you hold him to one field goal in the last 15, you should be in a good position. How did it play out? How did you guys lose this game when you were able to shut him down like that in the last quarter of the game?
I just believe just the little details, that just we committed those mistakes, that kind of led up to points and led up to bad possessions on the offensive end. So it just kind of just those mistakes, that really hurt us and cost us, to get us into this position right here. But really, I believe that we played hard. We did everything that we could and played through the mistakes and just gave it our all.
Did you, better in that regard? What are some places you think you could have tightened up?
Containing, they're big. We knew they're big. It was, first team all ACC caliber, first round draft pick caliber type player. So we knew we wanted to contain him, but his performance wasn't just on the bigs tonight. That was on all of us. I doubled him, but I mean, defense is always a team effort. So it's not on the bigs, but we definitely wanted to contain him. We knew they run their offense through Jalen Blake's. I wanted to shut him down, but we didn't do that. So, we didn't really do anything that we talked about and knew we had to do to win this game.
Offensively, well, I guess defensively for them, they went into it seemed like a little zone of some sorts at one point. Do you feel like that? Three guys, you didn't turn it over very much, but do you feel like just rhythm-wise, I think that 3 guys over?
It may have, but we were expecting it. We got good looks off of it, so we can't use that as an excuse, saying that threw our rhythm off. But maybe it did some guys, but I think we played pretty well for it. Playing well, I think we played well against them. I'm sorry.
The little details, so that's my initial thoughts.
Obviously, again, like you said, just very little time to think about it, really process, but what were some of the little things maybe down the stretch that you're able to win?
I had turned the ball over, I think it was like a minute 10 left. We gave up a strong side corner 3 off of kind of just like a standstill defensive possession right there. Kind of pulled in, and then just like costly, kind of just like defensive mistakes, defense mistakes. We was able to kind of get a good look. Seth was able to kind of attack the basket late and then get fouled and get to the free throw line, make both free throws, and then they just be the tough two at the end of the day. So yeah.
You feel like you guys took them lightly at all today, RJ?
No, not at all. I mean, we knew coming into the game that they were a really great team, and we don't take anyone lightly. I just think we weren't attentive with our details. I don't think we had a lot of like slip up plays in the second half and kind of just weren't as aggressive. Just from a defense standpoint, we weren't really into the ball. There wasn't as much communication. I think that kind of just like led on to plays that they were able to execute off of.
It seemed like there were several times where you guys were in a position to maybe click into another gear and then build a comfortable margin, and you weren't able to do it. Did you sense that there was a little bit of an inability to hit that next gear that you guys used, for example, the other day, when you're able to go on a 10-2 run and give yourself a little separation?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt it. I think we had like a 3-point lead, and I kind of felt the energy shift, the momentum shift to our side a little bit, and I thought we was going to be able to go on a run and kind of just extend the lead. But it didn't favor us today. We weren't able to kind of just extend off that lead. I think we were up by 3, maybe 4 at one point. And it just kind of felt like this whole second half it was just trading baskets for baskets, and it came down to the wire of the game. But we have to go back to the drawing board and kind of just reflect on, the second half really, like the last 5 minutes, because that's where things got a little bit sloppy and our attention to detail wasn't there.
I've talked to you about this a lot after Louisville out at you had Florida, Kansas, same kind of thing. You guys were up 66-61. They go 11-5 the rest of the way. Was it more of the same why you lost this one? Was it the same with those other ones, or was there something different?
I think it's kind of the same. It's just our focus and the detail that wasn't there. Especially like I think sometimes we relax a little bit. We have a lead, we see the score. We took our foot off the gas a little bit, or we're just not. It's kind of like a delay on defense. We're 1 second behind on the communications, or we give up a strong side 3, or we're not. We're jumping on pump fakes. Like little plays like that kind of just lead into big leads for the opposing teams, and we know we're capable of being better and not making those mistakes. We just got to do it on a consistent basis.
With it happening again, is there a sense of anger? Is there a sense of frustration? How do you personally process it, given what you've been through here? And this is something that maybe you thought was gone, but crept back up today.
I feel like we were trending in the right direction, right? I mean, I would say my frustration level is kind of just because I know we're so talented and so capable of really many big things. I think our discipline and our detail is like one area that we have to consistently keep sharpening, because I think at times we show glimpses of it and at times we show stretches of it, but it has to be at a consistent basis, especially at this level, because it could be anyone's game like we saw tonight. And basketball's a game of runs, and the game is never over till the clock hits 0. So that's just something that we have to kind of just instill in our brains moving forward.
Is that kind of like human nature? Because people say, well, how can you not be attention to detail? Is that kind of like human nature, I guess?
I would say human nature, but I just don't think our focus level, being there, right? Sometimes you kind of just lose sight of and kind of just lose yourself into the game a little bit, and you're not really practicing and using your principles that you do on a daily basis. And I think sometimes we could get away from that, but we gotta stay on that path, because that's what was working for us these past couple of games. So we just gotta look back in the drawing board, watch film tomorrow, practice, and then get ready for Tuesday.
How tough did Renaud make the pick and rolls? It seemed like he was coming in on those and really disrupting those for you.
Who? Say again, sorry?
Renaud, coming in on the pick and rolls and helping.
He was kind of like in a drop coverage. I felt like we was able to. I mean, we worked on it all week. Just the way he played. Kind of sometimes he was back, sometimes he was up to touch. But I think we did a good job of kind of just finding either ourselves for the game or find our big man. And I think that prepared us in today's game. So I don't really think it was too much of a challenge or a difficulty, because we practiced it all week.
Did you say anything just to keep Ian's head up after a tough shooting night for him?
Yeah. I mean, not gonna have every perfect game in the world. I mean, this basketball happens, and Ian's a prolific scorer, and he's been playing well all season. So just tell him to keep his head up, stay in the moment. Like one bad game doesn't define you, and he's gonna be pretty. He's gonna be fine because he's a confident kid. He's a scorer, so I'm not too worried about his bad off shooting night. A lot of great players have off shooting nights, so he'll be good.
You all put together, like a 40-minute game, as y'all said, the other night. Shocking that it came down to this today.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, especially when you kind of just. It's kind of an ugly game in terms of like our second half, especially kind of just back and forth with trading baskets a little bit, and then we were able to execute our offensive play that we drew up for Seth to get a foul, and kind of just made a tough shot at the end. So, but I don't think that tough shot makes up the game. There's a lot of plays that we didn't execute well, especially offensively and defensively, that led up to that play.
Overall, you've gone over to Winston-Salem before in your career here. So, what's it going to take? What's the mindset going to be for the next couple of days here? Preparing for Wake Forest.
It's going to take all 15 guys of us. Wake Forest is a really good team. It's a tough environment to play there, and we have to go with a mindset of just winning on the road is hard, and playing in those type of environments is hard. But you have to go with the mindset of just being gritty and doing whatever it takes to win. That's where I'm going to preach to them all week because Wake Forest is a really good team, and I'm looking forward to a really good game. So we just got to look back on this game, see what we did right, see what we did wrong, and then use that as a way to get better for Tuesday night.
For most of the game, particularly your scoring and distributing, it seemed like you were in as much of an offensive groove as you've been in recent games. Is that how you saw that, and what worked well for you?
I think I was just kind of just in a rhythm, and I wasn't thinking too much. I feel like sometimes I've been, as of recent, kind of just overthinking everything while I'm on the court, whether I should shoot, whether I should pass, and kind of just that's taking away the flow of my actual game because now I'm overthinking every single play. And I think tonight I kind of just let my mind just be free and kind of just go out there and just play like I know how to play. And I just basically just did what the game called for. What I was shooting open shots, finding my teammates, which I think I did a good job of, and kind of just playing free. I think I did that today.
And the last play was meant to go to J-Wash, is that right?
Yeah, it was kind of just like a back screen, and then just lob it over the top to Wash, and then kind of just finish around the rim. So yeah.
RJ, sorry if you've been asked this already, but you guys had the 5-point lead. I think it was 61-66. Later in that second half, what do you think was the difference that kind of kept you guys from building and adding to it?
I'll probably say we just kind of just took our foot off the gas a little bit. We weren't. Our attention to detail wasn't there, and that allowed Stanford to kind of just get into a rhythm and make their run. And there was a couple of times where it was kind of just exchanging baskets for baskets, and it just wasn't like any force on the defensive end that usually is there. And obviously, little plays lead up to big plays like that, like a tough step back shot that he made. But there's a lot of plays in between, the last 2 minutes that we were capable of making that we just didn't do tonight.
How disappointing is it that didn't happen, especially on the defensive end, down the stretch? Considering the urgency here.
Mm-hmm. It's disappointing because we've been on the stretch of playing really great defense, and our approach into the games have been a lot better. Our communication has been a lot better, and for it to kind of just take a step back a little bit tonight, it's a little bit disappointing. But I know we could get back to that. We just got to understand that we got to take it one game at a time, but understand we got to take it like each game matters. That's the big thing.
So I guess the message here is don't let one loss become 2 or 3.
Yeah, just don't let it hinder over into the other games, right? We still got a lot of games left, still got a lot of games to play, so regroup. This is a tough one to kind of just sit back and understand that we have to take it one game at a time. We got Tuesday night to get better, the opportunity to get better against a really good Wake Forest team, and then we'll go on to the next game. So obviously it sucks to lose tonight, and we understand that we got another game in 2-3 days, so we got to regroup.
Do you guys talk about the Stanford went into that zone at one point in the second half? Do you feel that threw you guys off a rhythm at all? I know you did get some open looks from that, but did you feel that kind of threw off the rhythm as a defense?
It just I think sometimes it went from man to zone and then zone back to man. It was kind of just a lethargic way defensively, but it was effective for them. I know I turned the ball over and kind of said a minute 15 seconds left, so that was on me. But we just got to kind of do a better job of noticing what defenses they're in, but getting good shots. I think we had a lot of good shots around the perimeter. We were able to drive the gaps. Just sometimes shots didn't fall, but it was really the defensive end that stuck out for us.
Do you guys talk about the net rankings? And obviously, this is a quad 3 game, and how damaging losing a game like this is.
Well, how I try to tell them is, like, obviously I'm not really too informed on like the quads and the nets, but I do like to know. I know the net rankings in terms of that. So I kind of just told them like we need every game, like in terms of kind of just staying on our path and putting ourselves in a good position for March, and just take it one game at a time. Because I know what it looks like. I've been there my junior year where I didn't make it at all. So and I kind of want to avoid that again. So kind of just understand our sense of urgency, but just take it one game at a time. Like, you're not going to win all, I don't know how many games you have left, maybe like all 12 games in one day. So just understand that there's a sense of urgency, but sense of focus as well.